What in blue blazes is a sticky key? The Terex Arena issue is now resolved and kabam, mess up the rewards total for the factions event. Sort of. Yes, hello everybody and welcome back to the Wednesday edition of Marvel Contest of Champions News. It is your update day, so this is going to be the day when the update goes live later on today, and obviously we get a hand at choosing our factions and doing so many other things like smashing out the event and the side quest and whatever's going to be put in game today. We'll find out later on. Also, I won't be partaking in any April Fools, especially in this particular video, because there is a serious subject that's going to be dropped, and obviously there's going to be time coded down in the pinned comments down below. So obviously I don't want to make this too much of a jokey, laughy bit of news content. Now before we get into the video, please hit the like button as well as subscribe with post notifications on all. That would be absolutely amazing. And as well, I want to give a massive thank you to my current YouTube members, Twitch subs, and as well Patreons. So if you want to give a free Twitch sub and you've got an Amazon Prime account, go to the link in the description down below. It doesn't have to be to me as a streamer, but as well it does really help out the channel, and I do regularly stream on Twitch. So yes, please help, that would be great. And comment on some of the topics that we're going to be discussing right now. The news kicks off with this here. Now, it's all about incursions. As I said in the video yesterday, there was going to be more that was going to be given out information-wise for you to take into consideration, but I think I covered a good chunk of it in the video that was posted yesterday. But yes, check out this information here. Incursions already look pretty damn nice, and especially with these bullet points really gathering some information on what's going on, with choice being the big subject. So choice will give you more like sabotage a server link, swap champions, enable hacks, finish a zone. You know, these new creative things that Kabam have put in place for this co-op mode. You have item limits per zone, provide more of a challenge. It's not great seeing that, but at the same time, look, if it's per zone, I've got a different kind of like feeling towards it. I think that's somewhat okay. Obviously, when you get to the more difficulties, it's going to be a bit frustrating, but I'm sure people will be fine with it. Prepare to encounter any champion regardless of class. Enemies have access to almost every non-champion specific buff in the contest. So there's a lot of things going on. This is a permanent game mode, which is great because you can actually dive in and dive out. Incursions are available all month long. Rewards and milestones have been revamped to provide stretch goals. Earn more rewards for pushing further and challenging yourself. No more point penalties for quitting your incursions run when you are ready. So that again is pretty good. Incursions looks like this for anybody interested. And obviously it's going to be a little bit difficult when you think about later on down the grind with the sabotage server link and whether or not you do that over the character selector. Obviously do bear in mind that when you swap out a champion, you gain back at the same health in which you swapped with. So I would probably say regen champions would be a good option to swap out unless a hack actually kind of benefited things like regeneration. The way that rewards are earned are a bit kind of, well, not scuffy, but they're a bit kind of weird. So that you kind of go about, it's all about pushing yourself to the extreme and saying, okay, so if I do zones 1 to 5, but then can't do zone 6, then I earn zones 1 to 5. And then it's a case when you go back into it, and then you try again, then you get to like the same position, you do not earn the same amount. It's kind of good, but also kind of bad. I guess it's a case of like you're gonna have to train yourself to push yourself higher to like zone 10. Also, there are restrictions, as you can see here, that if you are tier 7, which is the lowest, then you will have no real requirements. But as soon as you go up further, it's a case that Kabam want you to be prepared as normal. I'm not sure if I totally agree with this. I kind of feel that if we want to push players to be pairing up correctly, if there is a function that does so, then maybe it should be a case that we have something like, right, with tier 1, you have to have, I don't know, 565s as opposed to saying 5-star champions. I'm not saying that undermines people's ability, it just means that 9 times out of 10 someone will be paired up with someone that at least has the champions for the job and at least has kind of like implemented a lot of improvements in their roster that they've ranked up a lot of stronger champions. And that's just my thoughts there, but I could be wrong. Thoughts in the comment section about that. In other news and kind of catch-up news, if you don't remember this, back on Sunday we had a real big issue with the Terex Arena. As you can see, it says ranked to 1 to 50, which obviously is very incorrect. And obviously Kabam were made aware of this. They were thinking about how they were going to sort this out for several days, which obviously was kind of weird. So as of yesterday, this is now rectified. If you haven't received it and believe you should be receiving it, and obviously do check your rank, because that's something, just having a look back and just making sure that it's acknowledged it, then obviously it's important to get in contact with Kabam if you don't feel this is right. But Kabam Zibbit has said, hey there, we've begun sending out the corrected rewards to those who hadn't received them already. Obviously this meant the whole kind of premise of doing arena predictions was completely out the window for round 2. So it's still a guessing game, and obviously we can't give you what the 4-star will be because we don't know what the cutoffs were, which just sucks. It really does. Next up, and shout out to Justin, who got in contact with me over Twitter and said, look, you've got to check out what's going on with this here. This is all to do with the factions, the Barons War, and the fact is we've had this kind of correcting of reward situation, which then was looking a bit scary, but is actually fine, and I'm gonna have to kind of bring you up to speed with it. All of this came to a head yesterday with this post by Kabam Mike, just basically saying, like, unfortunately the rewards that are listed are incorrect. We're working on getting them all corrected once to you. So this is what I broke down to. This is the mistakes, starting with Worshippers of Apocalypse. And if you look at the epic side of things, the post is 1,000 extra 5-star shards. Now again, is it to be added to that, or is it a case it's more than it should be? That's the confusion that I need to then like look into. Once we go back to the corrected, which we will do in a second, it's just a case of just highlighting some of these points. Post does not include 1 2-star awakening gem, 3-star awakening gem crystal, and a 4-star awakening gem crystal. Okay, that's fine. That's added additions. That's buffed. But you know, it's the other stuff like the 4-star shards. Like, should these be, again, additions to this or subtractions? It's very hard to tell. Also, it looks like they're limiting the extent of 5-star rank up gems. It's 1 to 2 should be 1 times, not 2 times, which again is a little bit annoying. But we'll have a look at this in a moment. I think one of the biggest things to be subtracted away is that the post has 20,000 extra tier 4 basic catalyst fragments. So you're losing out on 20,000, which, and again, I don't know if this is doubled up to say, okay, well, for the month, you're losing out 40,000 tier 4 basic catalyst fragments. Well, in some ways, that's not too much of it. That's 1 and a bit of a tier 4 basic, but you know, it's still nice to have that in for a lot of players, especially those really keen to grind out for the Ancient One side of things. So the information as it stands is this. So this has been put back on there. It doesn't seem to be, or doesn't obviously overly look too much of an issue, especially with the fact that we've got the epic. I mean, obviously for me, like I said, the personal thing is RNG and going for like the shards. So look, you know, it's still down to like epic 11,000 5-star hero crystal shards times 2 for obviously week 1 to 2 and then 3 to 4. So that's still going to mean with the master that I'll get 3 5-star crystals. So that's exactly what I'm working towards. However, though, and as well like with the Ancient One is still there. However, though, when it comes to like the 2-week objective rewards, this is something to add as an additional, which Kabam didn't put on. And this clears things up. It is the objective rewards. So this will be the times 2. So this is something to bear in mind as well. This is a nice added addition. But there's a lot of confusion with this. And I think obviously it does mean players like, do they trust Kabam? Do they not? And was it too good to be true? Well, it still looks to be good, I hope. With Kabam Mike, even like just kind of confirming they're fixed now. You can still open 3 5-stars. So yeah, that kind of confirms that everything is fine. But you know, it's still very confusing with what's going on, and I will take that as going, okay, everything's fine now. And also, just to put people's minds at rest, Kabam Mike follows up with, they are correct. I know this has been very confusing, but the ones posted now are correct. So you're getting more 5-star shards than initially posted incorrect reward. Next up, and it's time to be serious. As I said, I did want to like talk seriously about something, and this is it, unfortunately. There's someone in our community that has passed due to the world pandemic going on at the moment. Obviously, our community is still very close. It is a still small game in a bigger world with that stuff going on, and it is with great sadness to report to you that Fur has passed away from the ex-Order 66 Alliance. There's Alliance mate Edwin posting on Prof Hoff's community page basically saying that he's a friend for about 5 years, a brother. Obviously he's in great pain. A lot of the community members in Alliances are very close, so when anything does happen, it is obviously incredibly sad. And if you want to pay your respects, just do a duel against him, and that would be nice to kind of honour the memory. Next up, on what the heck is a sticky key? I suppose it is the 1st of April and anything can really happen. So seeing something called a sticky key, well, it could be something to do with now, but more than likely because it says the 30th of April when it expires, it could be an event starting then, or it could be something that, links into something at the end of the month. There is something that's meant to be afoot with Deadpool, and whether or not we're going to see something for April Fool's Day later on today is anyone's guess. However, though, I do think this will probably tie into something at the end of the month, with an expiry being where it is. If it's going to be something for today, it'll expire sometime, in a week's time. So everything is really exciting. What is this? Why does it need to be sticky? I don't get it. Why it needs to be sticky? Where have you been sticking the key? Okay, that's disgusting. I don't want to find out where they've been sticking this goddamn key. And our final story is arena predictions. All my predictions are down below at the moment, but it does drop as follows. When it comes to Venom the Duck, I'm feeling quite strong with a 42 mil. I just feel that this champion is hyped enough still within the community to then be utilized for a lot of content. So yeah, 42 mil is going to be acceptable. If it goes anything higher than that, I'll be annoyed. And if it goes anything lower than that, I'll be overjoyed. I'd probably say, it can't go anything higher than that. I mean, you want to put 45 mil in, go do it. But 42 mil seems fair for this particular champion, and as well the grind. But the weekend seemed to be a bit scuffy, so we'll have to see what happens with round 1 finish. 4-star, 8 mil, I feel that's kind of fair as well with what people are grinding out at the moment. And as well, the 3-star, 1 mil for those that are really going to go for him. The basic, the Elsa Bloodstone, this is the one that I think will go 2.6 mil. Maybe put 2.7 mil in to be safe. And maybe actually I'll change that so the predictions say that 2.7 mil, obviously based on a lot of other champions and the way they've charted. But that champion could be underhyped and she could go for a lot less. We'll have to see after round 1. And there we have it. That has been Marvel Contest of Champions news for Wednesday. If you did enjoy the news, hit the like button and obviously discuss some of the stuff in the comment section down below. Check out some fresh content up here. Check out some supporting links and the membership scheme if you do want to get involved with that. Appreciate you. Hope you have a lovely day. See you later on for the big update. Bye-bye.